I thought my anxious attachment was in my mind. I was wrong. Keep watching. I'm Dr. Marianna Turov. I'm a psychoanalyst and a neuroscientist. And I'm the creator of NeuroIdentity, a neuroscience-based system for transforming anxious attachment by rewiring your identity at the nervous system level. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a like. It really helps my channel and my mission to rid the world of anxious attachment, because you and I know that anxious attachment hurts too much. I thought my anxious attachment was in my mind until I discovered where it really lived. For years, I thought my problem was that I thought too much. I thought I was just one of those people who analyzed everything. I even convinced myself that overthinking was a sign of intelligence. I was wrong. The day I discovered where my anxious attachment was actually living, everything changed. And what I found completely changed the way I healed. Nobody wants to admit they have anxiety because admitting it feels like admitting weakness. I didn't want to believe I had anxiety. I wanted to believe I was just emotional, just passionate, just someone who cared deeply. But then I started noticing something. I wasn't just thinking differently. My body was behaving differently. And that's when I discovered something that almost nobody had explained to me. My anxious attachment wasn't only in my thoughts, it was showing up somewhere else first. I started paying attention every time I felt uncertain in a relationship. My chest would buzz, my stomach would fall apart. Sometimes I get diarrhea, I get ringing in my ears, my energy would disappear. And what shocked me the most was that those sensations appeared way before my mind could analyze that strange situation with my partner. I thought anxiety lived in my head, but my body had been trying to tell me the truth long before my thoughts caught up. Here's something fascinating. Research suggests that rejection from your partner can activate some of the brain networks involved in physical pain. That's one reason emotional distress can feel physical. Your body often reacts before your conscious mind can understand what's really happening. But this realization created a much bigger question. If my body knew before my mind, why had nobody taught me how to listen to it? During my anxious attached years, I kept trying to perform, to ignore signals. I forced myself to keep working, to stay productive, to pretend I was fine. I wasn't really regulating myself. I was hyper functioning on top of my anxiety. And the more disconnected I became from my body, the stronger my anxious attachment became. That's when I realized I had been treating the wrong problem. Most people believe anxious attachment is simply low self-esteem. So they spend years trying to love themselves more, trying affirmations, trying to become less emotional, trying to act like they don't care. And I tried that too, but it didn't work, because self-esteem wasn't what my nervous system was asking for. Then one day I thought about my grandfather. He had gout. Whenever he ate foods that increased his uric acid, his foot would swell up. He'll be in terrible pain. His body had that food sensitivity. He learned what triggered it. He took his medication daily, he adjusted his lifestyle, and suddenly something clicked. Maybe my anxious attachment worked the same way. Maybe I wasn't broken. Maybe my nervous system was simply more sensitive to relationship uncertainty. Have you thought about that? And that changed everything. Instead of fighting my body, I started learning its language. Instead of judging my reactions, I became curious about them. And instead of pretending I could date anyone, I started avoiding situations and people that consistently activated my nervous system. Intense love bombing, emotional inconsistency, chaotic dating patterns. Not because those things always cause anxious attachment, but because I knew there were total triggers for me. That distinction changed how I approach relationships. And then I made one final discovery, the discovery that made healing feel possible. I stopped seeing my body as my enemy, and I started seeing it as information. I realized my body wasn't trying to sabotage me, it was trying to protect me. If this content is helping you, check out my masterclass. I will leave you the link in the description box. And if you want to transform your identity as a life project for this year, join the full NeuroIdentity System coming up September 2026. Check out the description box for all links, information, updates, community, and free stuff. The problem wasn't that my nervous system was reacting. The problem was that I had never learned how to read its messages. Once I understood the architecture of my anxious attachment and how it worked in my body, the prison stopped feeling invisible. When you can see the design, you can finally begin to redesign it. That was the moment healing became practical instead of mysterious. If you want to understand your anxious attachment, stop studying your relationship. Stop studying your partner. Start studying your symptoms. Don't Google, why did he pull away? Instead, ask, why does my chest tighten when someone pulls away? One question teaches you about them, and the other one teaches you about yourself, and your healing begins with you. Here's a small exercise I started doing. It's very small. The next time you feel triggered, don't ask, what is my partner thinking? Ask yourself, where do I feel this in my body? And describe it in one word. And rate it from 1 to 10. That's it. You're not trying to stop the sensation. You're learning to recognize your nervous system before your mind creates a story that craves for searching about what your partner is thinking. For years, I thought my anxious attachment was a prison. Today, I see it differently. It was a system I didn't understand. The moment I understood how it worked, I finally knew where to begin. Your body whispers before your mind panics. Learn to listen to the whisper, and you won't have to live in that panic. I hope this video served you. I'm here for you. You are not the only one, and I will see you on the next video.